Hello, welcome back to the base camp. This is probably going to be a short little video today, but I just spent my first full week on the new property, and I thought I'd give you a little update of what I've got done so far. So I work remote full-time. My hours are 9 to 6 every day. So unfortunately, this time of year, by the time I get off work, it's dark outside. So it makes it hard to get too much done during the week. So I haven't gotten real far along. But I thought I'd show you what I do have. Let me flip this camera around and show you where I'm at. So anyway, one of the first things that I did was put together this portable carport, but it's a Amazon special 13 by 20 metal frame with this tarp material cover, and under the canopy is my little camper. So that's where I've been sleeping at night. First, you see my Starlink router there. I'm still trying to organize and get everything set up and situated, but I got a little 12-volt cooler here, and my Starlink internet and this 12-volt cooler are running off of this EcoFlow Delta battery. It's one of the original Deltas, so no bells and whistles. But to run those two things, I can run pretty much the full day off the battery. I have another one in there in my little camper. It's the River 2 by EcoFlow, and I use that one to charge my batteries on my laptop so I can work, and then charge my phone and my watch and other little things. That one lasts about 6 or so hours on a full charge if I'm charging the laptop. And again, as you can see, I got a small TV there where I can watch some YouTube videos running off my Apple TV. I've got a cooler here that I don't have any ice in or anything. I've got dry food in it. Figure that's a good way to keep the bugs out of it. Got a few canned items here. Got some clothes right there and some bags that I need to get inside the camper. Right now I've got water that I use for washing dishes and stuff on a little spigot. I just move it when I want to use it. Got this little camping stove that I ordered. I like to cook biscuits, sausage and biscuits for breakfast quite often. So I got this little camping stove off of Amazon that runs off of propane. It allows me to cook biscuits. I've used it once so far, and it's going to be a learning curve because I burnt the bottom of the biscuits. And according to the little temperature gauge on here, I was nowhere near cooking temperature, but I put them in there anyway because it was taking forever to warm up. And the biscuits cooked great, except for the bottoms were burnt. So I'm gonna have to do some trial and error on that. But I've got that running off of this propane. Got another cooler here with some other dry food in it. Got some fresh water there. Got my dog's food and water, or food and treats in there. This bucket here I'm going to be using for a drain. I got this little table over here. Don't mind my little toilet back there. But I got this table that it's got a sink in it with a hookup for a hose. So I've got this little length of hose sitting over here that I'm going to hook up here. I've got some shelves out there that I haven't put together yet that are going to go in here. I'm going to put this up high and have the hose go into the faucet on that table. And then put this bucket underneath to drain into, and then whenever it gets full I'll just empty it out. Again, there's my 12-volt cooler. It's running off of, like I said, off of this Delta. Got a big 50-gallon drum here that I'm using as a trash can right now, and then I've still got my 2 garden sheds that I need to set up. I've started over here, and there's my generator that I'm running. I run this generator about twice a day for about an hour and a half each time. Usually in the morning I'll run it, make sure that this battery here, the Delta, is topped up, and that'll run my internet and my cooler, like I said, for pretty much all day. And then I'll usually run it again right before I go to bed at night, and that'll ensure that it runs the internet and the cooler run through the night. So twice a day for about an hour and a half at a time. Not too bad. I've got a 5-gallon gas can, and I've only had to fill it up once so far since I've been out here, and it wasn't full when I got it out here. So I've probably used maybe 5 gallons of gas so far in a week and a half. This spot right here, if you can tell, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it because I know the camera flattens stuff out, but I had a spot here that was kind of low, and it rains all day on Saturday and part of the day on Sunday, and so there was water pooling here, which is right where I want to put one of those garden sheds. So I kind of dug me a little trench across here to get the water to drain on down to the other part of the property and then filled in the hole that was there, and now I'm waiting for it to dry out for a few days before I finish flattening it out and leveling it, so that I can put some of these patio pavers over here. I'll put down a little 10 by 10 patio paver square, and that's what one of those garden sheds will go on. And once I get it put together, then I'll be able to move some of this other patio paver and some of these tools that I have in here out from under here and into the shed. And then I put some patio pavers down in here so I'm not down on the moist ground. I didn't bother leveling it or anything. I just put them down because this is all temporary, so I just put them down so I wouldn't be standing on the cold ground. And once I get this stuff here out of here, that's where the table is going to go, or the sink, and I'm going to extend my patio pavers over here, give myself a little more room. I think I'm going to be putting the coolers with the food under here, and probably the cooler over here, and then my Starlink satellite that's just sitting here on the ground right now, kind of the view that it's seeing of the sky is like that. So I'm getting obstructions on this tree, and then across here, according to the Starlink app, which is causing it to freeze every now and then a little bit for a few seconds. So I ordered a mount where I can mount it to the side of one of these trees, and I haven't really figured out which tree that I'm going to put it on yet, but I want to get it up high so it's above, so it'll be above these line of trees here, and hopefully eliminate some of the obstructions. I'm thinking I might put it on this one right here. Sorry, the sun's right there right now, so but this tree right here, put it right in here somewhere, and that'll get it up high enough that it's not being obstructed by these. I'll have to do some trial and error. The other thought I had was putting it on this one right here, up as high as I can get it, but it's closer to those trees, so I'd have to get it higher to get it above them. But if I put it on that one, then my cable that's coming through could come in from over here, and my cooler, if I put it over there, they'll both be over there, and won't have cables running across the ground like this. The other big thing that I did with my father's help, thanks Dad, came over, and I probably wouldn't have been able to get this done as fast if he hadn't come and helped me. But I've got this whole little area. I've got this gate here and this whole little area all the way back here, across, and then back up the side over here is all fenced in. And unfortunately, after we set the post, it rained for 3 days, and I didn't use any concrete because I'm not sure that this fence is going to be temporary, or if this fence is going to be permanent or not. It may be a temporary fence that I ended up taking down. But after we put it in the ground, it rained for 3 days, and so the posts were not real solid. They're doing good now, but you can see they're not exactly straight. We had them nice and straight when we put them in, and then they leaned over, and since we didn't use any concrete, we ended up putting some anchors in temporarily to keep the fence from falling over. But I wanted a nice, good fenced-in area to keep Diesel from running off into the woods. I've got my gate for the front drive laying over there on the ground. You see I still haven't trimmed the excess off from finishing back here and the stretcher that we used to stretch the fence. But you can see, with all the moisture out here, all the rain, there's some spots that are, it almost looks like a piece of wire laying over there. I'm not sure what that is. It's floating, whatever it is. I'll have to check that out later, see what that is. But anyway, it gets kind of soggy back here. So, but this clearing is part of my property. You know, the property line's over there somewhere, but this clearing goes down and turns around and goes off to the property line, and then the property line's clear and goes back up. I still haven't completely walked the whole property yet. And you can see how wet it is down here, and how the posts are, you know, we've got them anchored, try to keep the posts up. And then of course there's the shelves that I was gonna put together. Got my little trailer back here, solar panel, and then some water barrel, or some barrels that I'm gonna be using for rain catchment eventually. Here's some little solar lights that it gets real dark out here at night. There's no street lights, no other houses or anything out here yet. So I put a couple of these solar paneled lights, Amazon special. If I can remember to do it, I'll try to shoot some video of them on at night. They got a few different settings you can put them on, but the main one that I use keeps them on about 30%, and then if it detects motion, it'll go to full power for a few seconds and then back to 30%. Makes them last a little longer. Got the other one hanging back there on that tree right above my Jeep. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's right about there. Got two of them, so one in the back corner, one in this front corner, and then I've got a little security camera mounted up here on the tree. That one connects to the cloud and picks up motion and saves the footage to the internet, so I can come back and review it. That way if somebody comes in when I'm not here, and I'll be able to see what they did and what they were, why they were on my property. And you can see this. Here's another low spot right here that's holding water. Started draining it a little bit over there, but I need to do some more work. And then, you know, I don't have a tractor or anything, maybe one day in the future, so everything's hand shovels and rakes, so it's a lot of work. I spent probably 2 hours digging this little ditch and trying to level this out a little bit and filling in the hole so it could start drying out, so I could then come back and level it some more and start putting down patio pavers. Got my little grill here, and little fire pit. Got this fire pit years ago. I was living in an apartment complex and was moving out, and the day that I was moving out, just happened to look over and there was a washing machine that somebody had put out by the dumpster, and I went over and looked at it, and it had one little bolt that held in the little spindle section in the middle, and I unscrewed that bolt and lifted the lid up, and the whole thing was able to come right out. Makes a great little fire pit. Anyway, though, that's my update for the week. I appreciate y'all coming along and watching my videos, and I know it's not a whole lot of interesting in this video, but I just wanted to give you an update, let you know where I'm at and what I'm doing. And if you're interested and want to follow along as I build out this base camp of mine, my little homestead, go ahead and hit subscribe, like the video, share it. Any of those you do will help me out, help me with the YouTube algorithm, and make sure that more people see my videos. I appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, thanks again.